What's up, you fine people? Welcome back to MaK.Audio. Here I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of auto align and how I use it to kind of just set up a few things to mix. Here we have two channels of double bass. One is the upper portion of the body, the next one is the lower portion of the body. Now obviously with two microphones being a little bit further away from each other, there is going to be a bit of a phase alignment issue. So here we have the upper bass. And with my auto align plugin made by sound-radix, I just have this sent to its channel 1, and then the lower portion of the bass is just receiving on channel 1. Now I can set this to detect the delay and the polarity, which I want. Obviously, I'm going to hit detect and I'm going to play. It has now detected the time difference between the two, which is 458 samples. So let's have a listen to it without. Now to my ears, I hear that double bass now becomes a little bit more further up front and a little less pushed back, which is going to give me a little bit more control in the mix to determine where I want it to be. Otherwise, I would be if I wanted my bass to be a little bit more up front, I would be fighting with plugins to try and bring it a little bit more up front. But it's all about phase alignment. If you want things to pop through your mixes, you gotta have things like really accurately in phase. Now I've done my double bass. I have my bass auxiliary set here. What I'm going to do is I will just highlight this area, hit commit. It's going to run through and it's basically going to run my plugin on these two channels, and then I'm going to commit it down to one mono channel ready for me to mix. It makes things a little bit cleaner. I don't have to pay attention to the other stuff that's going on, and hey, it saves on resources. My machine is pretty powerful, so I don't need to worry about it too much. So now I have this down to one bass channel. So now let's have a listen to it on snare. So here I have my snare drum setting to channel 2, and then my snare bottom is receiving on channel 2. You can see here I've already set it, so let's just have a listen to what it sounds like. Let's find that area again. Let's get rid of my double bass. And without. That'll make a good little loop here. So now that this is set, let's have a quick listen to it. Super subtle because it was a little bit more in line, but again, it just makes the imaging bring the snare forward a little bit. And here I have done it with my overheads as well. So I've lined up my snare with my overheads. Let's have a listen with that. And there you have it. There's a comparison with bass and a comparison with your snare drum. Obviously, because your overheads have moved by 41 samples, then you have to check the phase with your rack tom and your floor tom alongside the overheads to make sure that you're not losing those. And as a result, for me, it brings the snare drum a little bit more forward and a little bit more central into the mix, which in my mind, kick and snare is the most important part of the drum kit. So I try and align all of my overheads, and possibly even my rooms, depending on what kind of vibe I'm going for, to my snare drum. I find that because I can high pass stuff, my kick drum isn't as much of an issue in terms of lining it up with my overheads. You're not getting a huge amount of kick in there anyway. Nothing that's going to fill out the low end like this. So hey, thanks very much for listening. Hopefully you have learned something, and hopefully you will use Auto Align in the future, because I personally think it's a fantastic plugin. Take care.